And now for your Shreveport Connection pay-per-view results from Over the Limit pay-per-view. But first, I'm going to give you some news. Bo Rotunda, the brother of Husky Harris, beat Lucky Cannon to win the Florida Heavyweight Championship at Thursday night's FCW Wrestling televised taping in Tampa, Florida. WWE Hall of Famer Dusty Rhodes and Mike Rotunda participated in a post-match celebration with Rotunda. New additions to the FCW roster: female WWE ring announcer that was on, I believe this past week's NXT, or was it Superstars? I didn't get to see neither one. I just gave the results. Former new WWE developmental talents have been added to the Florida Championship Wrestling roster page on FCWWrestling.info. Alexander Rusev, Audrey Marie, Eden Styles, and Ethan Levin. I will be posting their actual pictures on my Facebook page. Of course, it's Tom Kerr, if you're interested in that. Rusev was formerly competed as Miroslav the Bulgarian for Knox Pro Entertainment in California, the one that Rikishi and Gangrel are training. He was signed to a developmental contract last year. Marie, a brunette, introduced herself as Ashley Miller at the FCW live event last month and indicated she is from Houston, Texas. Styles is a Tampa-based model, Brandy Reed, who signed a developmental contract with WWE in March. She debuted last month in FCW as a valet for Lucky Cannon and has conducted ring announcer duties this past week. Well, actually, past 2 weeks on Superstars. So there you go. Levin is a 6'6", 270-pound wrestler billed from Tel Aviv, Israel. He is the first male wrestler to earn a WWE developmental contract directly from Florida Championship Wrestling beginner class. New FCW Tag Team Champions were also crowned. AJ Lee appeared at SmackDown tapings. For those that don't remember her, she was from the Divas portion of NXT. New Florida Tag Team Champions were crowned this past Thursday as well in Tampa, Florida, as Big E Langston and Calvin Reigns, aka Patrick Brink, defeated Richie Steamboat and Seth Rollins. And that means that probably means that they are coming up to the roster very soon for the main WWE stuff. Okay, Steamboat and Rollins has reigned since March 25th. Mason Ryan has been announced for an autograph signing at the June 3rd Florida Championship Wrestling and live event at Largo Minrig Hall in Largo, Florida, and the June 4th show at Charlotte County Fairgrounds in Port Charlotte, Florida. And WWE developmental wrestler AJ beat Rosa Mendez in a dark match prior to Tuesday's SmackDown tapings in Corpus Christi. Lee worked this past weekend SmackDown live events as well, teaming with Natalya against Alicia Fox and Rosa Mendez. Babyfaces won both matches. Tough Enough contestant Christina also wrestled at the Florida Championship Wrestling event this past Thursday night for a TV taping, which should indicate that she was not eliminated due to an ankle injury suffered at the conclusion of this past week's episode, or at least recovered enough to resume competing. Well, duh, aren't they pre-taped? So, okay. Matches featuring the other remaining Tough Enough contestants are being filmed tonight for future use. Probably for the live event that's going to happen on the week of June 3rd or June 6th when Stone Cold is going to be on the show. Because that will be your Tough Enough finals. Meanwhile, WWE Hall of Famer and Alpha and Sika were also in attendance at the event. Okay. This particular report was from the 20th, earlier this week. Goldust stated on his Twitter account that he will not be returning to the square circle in the near future. Here's the deal. I'm not coming back to wrestle anytime soon, he wrote. Goldust has been sidelined since December due to a shoulder injury, which was expected to keep him sidelined for 5 to 6 months. He has since undertaken a behind-the-scenes role with WWE. Matt Hardy stated on his Twitter that Shane Helms is undergoing major surgery earlier this week to repair his broken leg. Helms suffered the injury after he and his girlfriend were involved in a motorbike accident in Smithfield, New York on May 5th. The former WWE superstar also suffered a broken ankle, jaw, and nose during the accident, as well as sustaining other fractures and receiving 200 stitches, while his girlfriend sustained a broken neck. Former WCW World Tag Team Champion Dirty Dick Slater celebrated his 69th birthday. Also, WWE Hall of Famer Andre the Giant was born on the date in 1946. Okay, being that mentioning birthdays, today would have been, I believe, Chris Benoit and his wife's birthday since her tragic death a few years ago. And now for your dark match of the Over the Limit pay-per-view. Daniel Bryan defeated Drew McIntyre. Over the Limit starts out with R-Truth coming with no music. Truth goes to the ring and says it's all about parking lots. He talks about arriving today and not having a parking spot. Truth says that meant he had to park with the fans. They said he deserves a whole lot better than to be treated like them. And he pointed all around the arena. Truth says he had to walk in the rain. Truth calls the people of Seattle stinking hippies. Truth says it's a conspiracy. Truth says he danced for the fans and it got him nowhere. He's not playing games anymore, he says. Truth says Rey Mysterio plays games. Truth goes on until Rey Mysterio's music hits and we have your match. There are 2 Ford Mustangs sitting on the stage as part of the set. Rey Mysterio's music hits and out he comes to a pop. The match starts and they go at it. Making their way out to the floor early on, Rey takes Truth from the apron to the floor. Rey brings him back in the ring and goes up top, but Truth knocks him down. Rey gets wrapped up in the corner and Truth unloads with kicks. Truth beats Rey into the next corner and works him over. Truth charges, but Rey trips him face first into the corner. Truth runs Rey's head into the ring post and he falls out to the floor. Truth brings it back in the ring, covers Rey for a 2 count. Truth works Rey over on the mat now. Rey fights to his feet and out of the hole. Rey runs the ropes and gets a hit by a knee from Truth. Truth suplexes Rey and drops him on his face for another 2 count. Truth with a clutch in a corner now and more silence on for Rey. Truth wraps Rey's body around the ring post and now stretches it. Truth brings it back in the ring again, but only gets a 2 count. They go back up top and Rey bulldogs Truth back into the ring. 2 count for Rey. Back and forth action until Rey hits the crossbody from the second rope for a 2 count. Rey then drops Truth again for another 2 count. Truth catches Rey in the corner, but Rey fights to the apron. Rey headbutts Truth and hits a plancha from the top rope. They run the ropes and Truth hits a twisted elbow for a 2 count. Truth misses the axe kick and Rey rolls him up for 1. Rey counters another move and goes for a 619, but Truth slides out of the ring. Rey kicks Truth to the floor and goes to the apron. Truth pulls Rey down and the apron gets hung between his legs. Truth clotheslines Rey and brings him back in the ring. Truth drops Rey on his face for the pin and the win. Very similar to the Skull Crusher finale. After the match, no music plays for Truth and the crowd starts booing him. Truth asks for a bottle of water and he walks around the ring. Rey gets up and Truth smacks him in the head with water. But actually, Truth picks up Rey and then smacks him with a bottle of water. Okay. Before posing on the second rope and then leaving the ring. Then they go to replays. And they cut backstage with Todd Grisham talking with The Miz and Alex Riley about their title match tonight. As they say, their title match. And that match gets changed later on when Miz announces it's going to be changed. And that is your main event. Miz says he will prove all the naysayers wrong again tonight. Miz says he never quit at anything in his entire life. Well, I guess he still plays with himself. He says he has a game plan for tonight and knows what it takes to win. We go to ringside to the announcers. We have Michael Cole talking trash to Jerry Lawler about their match tonight. They talk about tonight's Intercontinental title match, and we go to the 3 weeks ago segment when Ezekiel was kicked out of the core, and more highlights from their feud. Then you got the Intercontinental title match, Ezekiel versus Wade Barrett. We go to the ring, and out comes the Intercontinental champion, Wade Barrett, by himself. Out next comes the challenger, Ezekiel Jackson. Bell rings, and they test each other. Finally, they go at it, and Barrett looks to take control early on until Jackson throws him over the top rope and to the floor. Barrett runs back in the ring, and Zeke chases him. Barrett tries a big boot when Zeke comes back in, but Zeke catches it and goes to work on Barrett. Zeke with big knees and right hands in the corner. Zeke continues the assault on Barrett. Gets the ref's attention in the corner. Out of nowhere, Barrett gets up and decks Zeke. Barrett rams Zeke into the ring post from the corner. Barrett with another shot into the ring post and gets a 2 count. Barrett mounts Zeke with right hands. Barrett goes for the second rope and hits an elbow drop for another pin attempt. Barrett takes it to the mat with a headlock. Zeke fights back, but Barrett hits him with headbutts. Barrett goes for the waist slam, but Zeke slides out and fights back. Barrett with a boot to the gut. Barrett goes for the gut-wrench powerbomb and nails it for 2 count. Zeke knocks Barrett out of the ring with the right hand. Barrett comes back to the apron, but Zeke runs him into the ring post. Zeke brings Barrett back in the ring, runs him over with a big shoulder block. Zeke with a huge splash in the corner and a scoop slam. Another scoop slam and yet another. Barrett hits one more big scoop slam on Barrett. That should be Zeke. Hitting a scoop slam on Barrett. Wait, then there's another. Zeke scoots Barrett onto his shoulders next. But you got interference with Justin Gabriel as the DQ is announced by the referee. And Gabriel rushes in and kicks Zeke in the stomach. And they beat down Ezekiel. And Heath Slater comes in, rushes the ring. He fights him off, but the core gangs up on Zeke and they stomp away on him. Barrett hits a big running boot, while the other two, Heath and Gabriel, are holding him back. Zeke is announced the winner by DQ, and the core raises Barrett's arm and they go to replays. Backstage with the Nexus. And apparently their feed went out as well. And they come back with Michael McGillicuddy and David Otunga are down on the floor, hurt. Mason Ryan and CM Punk are having a bit of an argument about their tag title match tonight. Punk gets Mason to walk off with him for the match, but walks back in to make a smart remark to Otunga and McGillicuddy. Sin Cara versus Chavo Guerrero's up next. They go to the ring. Out first comes Sakara to a decent reaction. Chavo is out next. Bell rings and they lock up. Chavo with a headlock early on. They go back and forth on the mat. Chavo takes Cara down with a wrist lock and pushes his face into the mat. Cara fights out of the hole and hits a big hip toss. More back and forth with Cara taking Guerrero down with head scissors. Cara flips into the ropes and knocks Chavo to the floor into the apron. Cara runs the ropes and leaps over the top, landing on Chavo on the floor. Cara super kicks Chavo's back. He ends up on the apron and uses another head scissor takedown on the floor before bringing it back in the ring. Chavo knocks Cara down as he re-enters the ring and goes to work on him in the corner. Cara fights back and Chavo ends up down in the corner now. Cara leaps, but Chavo moves and he lands on the second rope. Cara goes to the top and hits a moonsault on Chavo for a 2 count. Chavo backs down in the corner and again, but Cara super kicks him. Chavo turns it around in the corner and hits a big running knee. Chavo with some stomps on Cara now Chavo gets hit with a drop kick and a botched arm drag takedown. More back and forth action. Chavo works on Kara's leg now. Chavo goes to the top, but Kara kicks him down to the floor outside the ring. Kara runs across the ring to the top and leaps off onto Chavo and the floor with a cross body. Kara brings it back in the ring and hits the springboard at Hurricane Rana. Kara gets pumped up now and hits Chavo with punches and kicks. Kara springboards from the ropes and hits the back elbow into Chavo. Arm drag by Kara and kick to the head from the apron. Kara goes to the top and hits another crossbody for a 2 count. Chavo fights back and goes for a powerbomb, but Kara hangs onto his back. Kara escapes with the arm drag. Chavo goes for the backdrop, but Kara slides out. Kara with another botched head scissors, takedown, and the pin out of nowhere for the win. Then they air some new anti-bullying video from all the superstars. Then they cut backstage with Todd Grisham, Randy Orton, and Christian. Grisham says that they've been respected towards each other going into tonight's match. Christian says the world title loss has to eat at him. Christian says he isn't mad at anybody. He says Randy didn't do anything he wouldn't have done himself. Christian is sure he will win the belt back tonight. Christian says Orton knows that this deep down. Orton says Christian is one hell of a competitor, but he beat him once, and if he loses again, Christian says he won't lose again. Orton says when he fights a feel-good story, there is no happily ever after. Then they go to the ring, and out comes Alberto Del Rio as Ricardo Rodriguez makes his announcement. Del Rio is driving a new Bentley tonight. Del Rio introduces himself, but you already knew that. Talks about his destiny. He says the immigration problem in this crowd has bosom. Part of the country is disgusting. Del Rio says thousands of illegal Canadians are crossing the border to America. The crowd boos him, of course, and Del Rio says he's not upset that he isn't the WWE in the title match tonight because he knows he can make either Cena or Miz say I quit with the arm breaker. He says it's only a matter of time before he's WWE champion and there's nothing you can do because destiny can't be stopped. Big Show and Kane's music hit, and out come the WWE Tag Team Champions to the ring. Kane tells Del Rio that he is already angry since the Rapture didn't come yesterday. But if Del Rio doesn't leave the ring, his destiny is to wind up, just like McGillicuddy and Otunga did in the back earlier. Show says that that's a punch in the face. And they back Del Rio out of the ring, and we're up to your tag title match. Out next comes CM Punk and Mason Ryan. The bell rings, and as Punk started things off with Kane. Punk immediately tags in Ryan. They lock up, and Ryan shoves Kane to the mat. Kane with a headlock, but Ryan pushes out and drops him on the shoulder. Kane kicks Ryan in the gut, gets 2 big right hands. They run the ropes, and Ryan catches Kane with a huge slam. Ryan with a big clothesline in the corner and tags the Punk. Punk runs in, but Kane drops him with a right hand and tags in Show. Show drops Punk with a huge chop and then walks over the top of him. Another chop to the corner. Show goes for another, but Punk turns his back to Show, chops his back. Show charges in the corner, but Punk drop kicks his legs out. Ryan is tagged back in. He drops Show and goes to work on him and kicks in an elbow. Punk is tagged in and comes in for a 2 count. Punk goes for a boot. Punk goes for a big headlock, but Show lifts him up and applies a big bear hug. Show tags in Kane and holds Punk while Kane hits the big boot. Kane with a big splash in the corner and another. Kane hits a big side slam for a 2 count. But it's more like Abyss's black hole slam. Okay. Kane goes to the top for a big clothesline and comes down. He goes for a choke slam. Ryan distracts the referee, allowing Punk to take back control. Kane ends up on the floor and gets decked by Punk, who is no longer the legal man. Ryan comes to the floor and rams Kane back in the ring, back into the apron. Ryan brings it back in the ring for a 2 count. Ryan works over Kane and tags back in Punk for some double teaming in the corner. Punk hits the running knee. He goes for the bulldog, but Kane pushes him off. Punk drop kicks Kane's knee and gets a 2 count. Ryan is tagged in for some more double teaming. Working on Kane's leg from a headlock to a bear hug. They go at it with shots in the middle of the ring, but Ryan scoops Kane up again. And Kane pushes back out and hits a big suplex. Punk is tagged in now, and he stops Kane from tagging. Punk goes to work on Kane with kicks now. Punk goes to the top rope, but takes too long. Coming down, Kane takes control for a minute and tags in Show. Then Ryan comes in. Show runs over Ryan and takes him down with a big shoulder. Show grabs Ryan for a choke slam. Punk comes off the top and gets grabbed by the throat. Also, they break the hold, but Show clotheslines them. Actually, it's a double clothesline. Get it right. Kane comes in and clotheslines Punk to the floor. Kane and Show double choke slam Mason at the same time and covers for the win. Then they go to ringside as the announcers hype next month's Capital Punishment pay-per-view. They air a mock video of President Obama at a news conference. Reporters ask Obama different questions about WWE, and they put in clips of Obama answering other questions from news conferences, such as Obama was in Ghana and answered some questions there. Then we have the Divas title match, Kelly versus Brie Bella. Boring match. Now we go to the ring. Out first comes the Diva champion, Brie with her sister. I'm just going to go right to the end. Match ended with the switcheroo pin. In other words, once they had the switch, while the referee was barely turned around, she came in and gave her the X Factor. Pinfall. And no karma. Way to go, WWE. So your winner of the match was Brie Bella, and she retains. After the match, Bella's make her way up the ramp as Cole exits his cube to get ready for his Kiss My Foot match. We get a promo video for tonight's World Heavyweight title match. World Heavyweight title match, Christian versus Randy Orton is up next. We go to the ring, and out first comes Christian. Out next is the World Heavyweight Champion, Randy Orton. To a nice reaction, we get formal introductions before the bell. They start the match, and the crowd starts chanting. They lock up, and Christian rolls Orton up for 1 count. They lock up again. Orton applies a headlock. Orton takes Christian down with a shoulder and gets a 2 count. Another headlock by Orton now. Orton runs the ropes, but Christian takes that and takes him down with a forearm. Christian with a drop kick from the second rope for a 2 count. Christian smacks Orton and runs the ropes. Orton drops him with a back elbow. Christian dumps Orton over the top rope and to the floor. Christian runs the ropes and hits a huge drop kick, knocking Orton back into the barrier. Christian works over Orton on the floor and brings him back in the ring. Dueling chants for Orton and Christian from the crowd. Christian scoop slams Orton and applies a headlock. Orton fights out and ducks a clothesline. Christian connects with a drop kick for a 2 count. Christian takes Orton down and applies a chin lock from behind. Orton comes back with a standing drop kick. Christian slaps Orton and coming out of the corner and goes up top. Orton knocks Christian down on the top rope. On the top, and they trade right hands. Orton gets the upper hand and climbs up. Orton suplexes Christian back into the ring and gets a 2 count. Orton goes back to work. Christian counters with an uppercut with a backside for a 2 count. Orton comes back with right hands and a kick to the face. Orton with 2 clotheslines. Christian catches him with a big spine buster for a 2 count. They both get up and trade right hands in the middle of the ring. Christian was slapped in a big flying up forearm. Christian with an inverted DDT for a 2 count. Christian goes for the top rope and comes down, but Orton catches his legs for a 2 count. They trade pin attempts back to their feet until Orton beats Christian down. Orton goes for an angle slam, but Christian counters also. Christian knocks Orton back and goes up top. Christian hits a big flying headbutt on Orton for a 2 count and a kick to the face. Orton with 2 clotheslines. Christian catches him with a big spine buster for another 2 count. They both get up and trade big right hands in the middle of the ring. Christian was slapped in a big flying forearm. Christian with an inverted DDT again for a 2 count. Goes up top rope and comes back down, and they do the same thing with the legs. They trade pin attempts again. Back to their feet until Orton beats them down again. Orton goes for the second rope, but it's countered also. Christian knocks Orton back and goes up top. Christian hits a big flying headbutt and on Orton for a 2 count. Orton gets up first and hits an uppercut and a backbreaker for a 2 count. Orton starts stomping on Christian and kicks him in the ribs. Orton with a big knee drop and another 2 count. Christian goes for the backslide, but Orton tries for an RKO, both countered. Orton applies a backwards Boston Crab. Very different looking move, as it wasn't even applied all the way correctly. Orton was standing up the whole entire time. So it was all Christian doing the forward and backwards moving with his legs and arms. Okay. They counter each other on the ropes until Orton brings Christian in the ring with a second rope DDT for a 2 count. Orton hits the mat again and gets ready. Orton goes up for the RKO, but Christian pushes him off. Christian starts calling for a spear and gets ready for it in the corner. Orton gets up and catches Christian, blocking the spear with a power slam. 2 count for Orton. Orton stands over Christian now and then backs up in the corner for a punt kick. Orton charges with a punt but stops in mid-stride. Orton backs up for it again, but kill switch, but Orton blocks it. And eventually hits the RKO for the win. Out of nowhere again. After the match, Orton poses as we go to replays. Orton tries to help Christian up, but Christian pushes him off. And goes to leave the ring. Christian comes back in and gets in Orton's face. Christian shakes Orton's hand and they embrace to a mixed reaction from the crowd. Everybody was thinking of heel turn for both of them at tonight's pay-per-view. Well, it didn't happen. As they were showing it, Christian stopped several times going up the ramp. He turned around to look around. And it finally ended up walking to the back. Then they go to highlights in the feud between Michael Cole and Jerry Lawler. Kiss My Foot match is up next. Michael Cole versus Lawler. Jerry King Lawler. Only way to win this match is by pinfall or submission. Loser must kiss the winner's foot. And they go to the ring and out comes Jerry Lawler first. Out comes Michael Cole, but he's limping and dressed in a suit. Cole takes the mic and has a prepared statement, apparently by his doctor, as it was a torn sheet of paper. Cole says he can't compete tonight because he's medically prohibited. Cole asks for Lawler's understanding and compassion as well as the fans. Cole says his doctor won't let him compete because his athlete's foot has become so infected, making it unsafe for Cole and Lawler both. Cole hands the referee the doctor's note, and the ref looks at it, shows it to Lawler, turns back around, rips it up, throws it off. And demanding the bell to ring. Lawler unloads on Cole with right hands and beats him around the ring. Lawler hits a drop kick, and Cole ends up on the floor. Lawler comes out after him, but Cole takes a cheap shot and throws Lawler into the steps. Cole throws Lawler into the barrier and begins to take his shoe and sock off as he's on the steps. Cole's foot is brown and horrible looking as the ref was about to throw up. Cole waves it in Lawler's face. Lawler grabs Cole's leg and punches him. Lawler throws Cole through his coal mine as it just falls like dominoes do. Doop, 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 doop. Okay. Lawler brings it back in the ring and goes to the second rope. Lawler drops a big fist, Cole's face, and covers him for the win. After the match, Lawler starts taking his boot off, but stops and thinks for a second. Lawler motions to the back a couple of times, and out comes Eve. Eve climbs up to the top turnbuckle and hits a moonsault on Cole. Lawler takes the boot off now, and the crowd chants for him. Lawler motions to the back again, and out comes Jim Ross to a big pot. JR pulls out a bottle of barbecue sauce and pours it all over Cole's face. And the barbecue sauce looks like ketchup and mustard and mayonnaise all mixed together. Cole escapes from the ring and goes to leave. Lawler wants him to come back and kiss his foot, but Cole says no way. Cole takes the mic and at the top of the ramp he says it may look like he lost tonight, but he didn't. Cole says he isn't a loser. He calls Lawler, JR, and Eve losers. Cole says it doesn't matter what Lawler did. He never did and never will kiss his foot. Bret Hart's music plays and out he comes. Bret backs Cole down the ramp and towards the ring. Bret tosses Cole back into the ring, follows him. Bret locks in the sharpshooter on Cole to a big pop from the crowd. As Cole is locked in, Lawler puts his foot in Cole's mouth as he mixes it in with the barbecue sauce to get some extra taste in his mouth. Lawler's music hits as Cole gags on the mat, still covered in barbecue sauce with his clothes torn. Yeah, his suit was all torn, ripped right down the middle of the pants legs and showing his boxers. Then they go to replays. Bret, Lawler, and Eve want the fans, wave to the fans as Bret's music hits. And the fans are ringside. Cole is now crying as he stumbles out of the ring. Then they go to a promo for tonight's title match. I quit for the WWE title, Miz versus John Cena. They go to the ring. Up first comes Miz with Alex Riley right behind him. John Cena's music is up next. Now he comes the WWE champion to a nice reaction from the crowd. We get formal introductions from Justin Roberts, and here we go. Bell rings, and Miz takes the mic. He mentions that there are no rules in an I Quit match, except one must say they quit. Miz says he can use weapons on Cena, but Riley can also. Riley enters the ring and stands beside Miz. So it is now a handicap match. Miz is ready to go. Miz lets Cena have the chance to go ahead and quit now. Cena says hell no. Miz charges and Cena ducks. Cena unloads on Miz and Riley, going back and forth between the two. Cena with a big bulldog on Miz and a gut wrench power bomb. Cena locks on the STF, but not too long as Riley is getting up and breaks it up. Riley goes to work on Cena now. Miz and Riley start working Cena all over the arena, and here we go. Riley charges, but Cena dumps him to the floor. Cena loads on Miz with shoulders and a backdrop. Cena hits a 5-knuckle shuffle on Miz and goes for the attitude adjustment, but Miz slides out. Hits a neck breaker. Miz goes for the skull crushing finale, but Cena counters with the attitude adjustment. Riley comes in and decks Cena with the briefcase. Riley starts smacking Cena with the case now. Since he brought it from the back anyway, it's not the one they use in the Money in the Bank. It's just a regular old silver metal case like they always use. So I guess they've done away with the headshots. Still, they continue to beat down on Cena on the floor, and he won't quit. Riley and Miz take apart the announcer's table now and beat him down with the monitors. Cena still won't quit. He finally fights back with Miz, but Miz throws him into the steel steps. Miz drops Cena's face onto the steel steps with a DDT. Miz puts the mic in Cena's face, asks him if he wants to quit. He says no. Riley lifts the steel steps up And the angle that was shown, he totally missed any part of Cena at all. And Cena just played it off. Well, Miz tells Cena that Riley is going to slam him into his ribs if he doesn't quit. Cena tells him to go to hell. Riley slams the steps into Cena's side. Not happening, because the side wasn't on the steps. The ref checks on Cena again, but he won't quit. Riley holds Cena's arms from the ring while he's on the floor. Miz grabs the kendo stick. They tell Cena to go ahead and quit. Cena tells him that he hits like a girl. Miz cracks Cena in the ribs repeatedly with the kendo stick. Cena still won't quit. Miz unloads on Cena's ribs with the kendo stick again and again and again. Cena falls to the floor. Still no quitting from Cena. Another kendo shot from the Miz. They go back to double teaming Cena now. Beating up the ramp and towards the cars on stage. Miz suplexes Cena on stage. The ref checks on Cena, but he won't quit. Miz hits Cena with a running kick to the face. And Cena rolls off the stage onto the concrete floor. Cena still won't say it. Riley holds Cena while Miz gets the belt from a production worker. Miz threatens to whip Cena with the strap unless he quits. Cena tells him that he has a strap but no nuts. Miz whips Cena in the back repeatedly with a strap. Cena still won't quit. Miz whips Cena several more times, but Cena still won't give up. Miz tells Riley to go get him a chair from the ring, which he does. Miz takes Cena back to the ramp. Cena drops him with a right hand and slams Riley into the ring post. Miz comes back up and decks Cena, and then hits him with a steel chair. Miz brings Cena and the chair to the ring. He sets it in between the second rope and the top rope, where the chair part going down. And the angle, I'm going to tell you, the chair, when he hits, if it wasn't for Cena putting his arms up to actually block the neck of it, he could have hit it right in the neck, which that's what it looked like it hit. Well, his hands were in the way to block it. Okay. And Miz delivers a skull-crushing finale through the chair and still won't quit. Miz goes to some Cena fans at ringside. One was wearing purple shirt, one was wearing a red shirt. And he wants them to tell Cena to go through. If they want to see him go through more pain, Miz tells the kid to tell Cena to quit. Kid says never. Not any day. Miz tells the kid to look what he's done to Cena and kicks him. Miz yells at the kid some more now and says he won't stop until Cena quits. Miz tells the kid to tell Cena to quit again. Another kid tells Miz to quit first. Miz decks Cena in the head with a mic. Miz threatens to beat Cena repeatedly with a chair until he quits. Miz tells him that he can't win this match. Cena tells Miz the kids are smarter than him. As Cena is laying halfway through the barrier, Miz cracks him in the head with the chair shot. Riley holds the mic to Cena's mouth and says, apparently I quit. But Cena is looking like, where'd that come from? Because he didn't actually say it. Well, they do the thing like they won the match. It's supposed to be like Cena saying it, but it sounded like Riley. Because of the cell phone that Riley was holding to the microphone. I'll just say it's like holding your phone to the microphone and just doing like a ringtone. I quit. Well, the referee's going to grab the belt. He grabs the belt. Let's see, I lost my spot. Okay, referee sees a cell phone at ringside and plays audio on it. Referee says no, and no to the decision, and comes back, restart the match. He plays audio in the ring, right in front of Riley and Miz's face, exposing their tricks. The referee restarts the match. And this stalls enough time for John Cena to regain composure as A-Rai and Miz go after John. As A-Rai swings the belt, as Miz was already preparing to turn around before A-Rai struck Miz after Cena ducked the swing. In other words, he was already prepared to duck or move out of the way. He's like, quick move, and gets nailed anyways. Just sells it. Okay, Cena then went and knocked the belt from A-Rai and delivered the Attitude Adjustment through the announcer's table. And then Cena stopped and stared down Miz for about 30 seconds. Then he took his belt off that he was wearing around his shorts and walks up to Miz and swings it at Miz. And Miz is trying to run all the way up the ramp, and Cena's banging him with the strap and the belt all the way up the ramp to the stage and around the corner, headed to the back. John drags Miz back to the stage and struck him a few more times with the belt, and then applied the STF on Miz as he taps and says, "I quit, I quit, I quit, I quit." If you know how a duck sounds, quack, quack, quack. Well, there you go. 3 times it said, "I quit." And that ends your pay-per-view, and so Cena retains the title. And I will give you some more info in another video. If you haven't heard, Macho Man died in a tragic car accident a couple days ago. And I will be giving you some more history on that later on tonight whenever I do the next video. Stay tuned.